Hello, my name is Emily, and I was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder and ADHD as an adult, also while working as a mental health nurse. And those insights changed everything. So I had built my life around being very competent and capable, didn't like to ask for help, felt like if I was going to do it, I was going to do it on my own. Didn't have a whole lot of trust in being vulnerable uh, and showing that I needed help. And as a nurse, I was at times a complete overachiever and uh, looked up to by coworkers, had great relationships with patients, praised by my managers, and then at other times would be completely frozen, unable to work, overwhelmed. It felt pretty much like a roller coaster. Um, and I loved being a nurse. I loved caring for people. I had great relationships with my patients. One of the hallmarks of autism is that it can be difficult to communicate, and that has been shown in fields like nursing that people with autism can communicate very well with patients because the conversation and the topic is very pointed. It's about health. It's not just kicking back and, the hardest part about communicating for myself, and I think a lot of autistic people, is more just like the uh, social banter or, the break room kind of communication, but actually communicating with a patient and using therapeutic communication, I loved it. It was the best. It was the best to get to communicate. That's probably why I loved it so much, because I got to communicate with people and I felt like I was really helpful. And so I was really good at my job, but it just, became very obvious that I just couldn't get past feeling so drained after a shift. I was very fulfilled for a long time as a nurse, so I don't regret that decision. But once I was diagnosed and I started to understand my needs a little bit better and how I can care for myself and give myself more longevity and be even more potent and proactive in my life, I realized I needed to make a big change. So, when I got my diagnosis, it was for me like a breath of fresh air, very validating. But it did come with a period of adjustment and grief and even anger about why wasn't this caught when I was a child. I could have had, you know, grieving the life one could have had if things had been better or I understood myself better. And also, why did it take me so long to understand myself in this way, and, be able to care for myself in this way? So, some guilt, anger, sadness, lots of stuff, but also a lot of validation. And I was also able to gain a lot of language that I resonated with, being able to ask for what I needed and have, reasons behind it that I could articulate. So getting the diagnosis was life changing. I'm still processing it. It's been about a year and a half since I was diagnosed, and still processing it and learning how to unmask, be more myself. And this is the foundation for why I'm making such huge changes in my life.